Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. How are you? How do you do all? Doing good? Yes or no? Are you all
Yes,
right?
sir.
You? Okay. Good.
Fine, sir.
Good to see you smiling, fine, happy.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good af-
Good afternoon, sir.
Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon, sir.
A very pleasant good afternoon to all of you here.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. So, we begin the chapter that is Glimpses of India. So, a short view of India. Here in the unit, we are going to read about the final part of the chapter, that is tea from Assam. Previously, we have already read a baker from Goa, and then second part, that is Kurg, and today we are going to read the third part of the unit, that is tea from Assam. How many of you enjoy tea? How many of you like tea? No? None of you?
Yes, sir.
Only one, Mohit
I
Nath.
don't like, sir.
Okay.
I don't like, sir.
Okay. So it's good not to have, because some people say that, and it's fact actually, that children should not take tea or coffee. Even the doctors say that because it kills your hunger, then you don't have the desire to eat food, you don't feel like eating food. So doctors and some people also
Yes,
say,
sir.
yes. So, and it creates acidity and some problem to someone. But yes, I too enjoy tea. I like at least 3 cups of tea daily. I take first with the breakfast, and second around 11:30, and third one again in the evening 4 o'clock 4:30. Okay. And many of you might be liking coffee also. So yesterday we had read about the coffee also, that Coorg is famous for coffee. Along with Coorg, there are some other parts of South India, Kerala, Ooty. Yes. So plenty of.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Mohit says that he drinks tea for vanishing his sleep. Yes, so you have this method. Some people drink it for energy. Some people want to drink it to remove their lazy and lethargic behavior, especially tea and coffee. But there are other method also. So you are free to choose whether you want to drink or not. I don't say that. I don't advise you to have tea. Subhash sir also doesn't drink tea because it creates acidity to him. So some people like tea, some do not like, some like coffee, some do not like. Okay, so as we begin the chapter, so first of all, let us discuss the word. So what is the word? What is today's word?
Desideratum.
Desideratum. And what is the meaning of the word desideratum?
Needed.
It is a noun. It means something which is wanted or
Needed.
needed.
Okay, something which is wanted, something which is.
Something wanted or needed.
Okay, now one of you will make the sentence from this word. Any one of you make a sentence using the word desideratum. Yes, any one of you? Think and make a sentence. Use the word in the sentence. Any one of you, quickly. Desideratum, it is a noun and it will be used with a verb. Yes, any one of you, quick. And the meaning is wanted or needed.
So,
Yes,
shall I try?
yes, of course, Chavi.
The desideratum needed for this activity uh, is flask and some chemicals.
Okay, very good. So the desideratum for making a good coffee is coffee bean, sugar cube, milk, glass, and a good knowledge. Yes. So desideratum itself mean needed or required or wanted, something required. Okay. Yes. Anyone else would like to make another sentence with the word? Anyone else? The teacher asked for desideratum for the teacher asked desideratum for good marks. Yes, anyone else? Think all of you quickly, then we move on. Any one of you, finally. Desideratum noun, meaning is wanted or needed.
We don't have the desideratum for trekking.
We don't have the desideratum for trekking. Yes, right. Okay. So that's the word desideratum, meaning is something wanted, something needed for doing something. Keywords which you shall notice here, that is number one, magnificent. And magnificent means grand. Okay. So grand, shining, ardent. Next word you would see here, that is ardent. Ardent means passionate, something you are passionate about, desirable about. Next is twigs. Twigs means branches or branch of the tree. Next one is sprout. Sprout means to grow from the seed, especially the seeds, they sprout. Legends means story about past, story about some great figures of the past. So previously we have read the chapter in this unit, that is a baker from Goa. There in that chapter we read about padder, we read about kabai, we read about nostalgic memories of the children, and we read about the bolinas, sweet ball, marriages, the importance of cakes and the bakers and the bakery in villages, and also for marriage and other functions. Until now, these bakeries and these bakers are found in old Goa, old village of Goa. Second part we read about Kurg, that is very famous station, very famous destination for the tourist near Mangalore in Karnataka state, famous for flora and fauna, especially a very popular freshwater fish is found there. Name is Mahasir. The kingfisher birds dive for it, they love to eat it. Kurg is also famous for the first Indian Army chief, that is General Cariappa. And Kurgis are, the people of Kurg are very known, very much known for their valor, their courage. They are allowed to carry firearms, weapons without license.
without license.
So the government allows them. Whereas if you want to keep a weapon, we need to have a license first. And the dress which they wear, the name of the dress is kafiya, which resembles to kofia. And kofia is worn by the Turkish people, Kurd people, Syria, Iraq, Iran. Long gown is there, a belt also tied there, that is kufia. So kapia also looks like that. And kodaus are, these people are called kodaus, those who wear this dress, that is Kurg. They are also known with the name Kodaus. And there are different story about the origin of Kurg. Some there are Greek story, there are Arabic, and some people say that when Alexander had come to India and when it had become impractical for him to return back, that time those soldiers, those army settled there in Kurg. They got married with the locals, and then they developed their own culture tradition, and their own culture and tradition is different from the mainstream of Hindus. Today we read another article, another part of this unit, that is tea from Assam. How many of you have been to Assam? Any one of you? Is there anyone who has been to Assam, Northeast? Is there?
No, sir.
None of you? Sikkim? Sikkim?
Yes, sir. Sikkim I have visited.
Okay, Sikkim. Meghalaya? No. Nagaland? No. Yes. So Sikkim, Assam, Meghalaya, Nagaland, West Bengal, all this, all those side, eastern side. Okay. The coffee, tea, the big plantation of coffee and tea is there, especially also the spices. Now, since this chapter is talking only about Assam, let us restrict ourselves to only Assam. So, tea from Assam. If anybody has been to Assam, then he can narrate his experience, he can share experience, but there is no one who has been to Assam. Is there anyone in the class? No? No one? Even I haven't been to Assam, so I can't share my experience with you, but we can read the experience of Pranjal and Rajveer and Mr. Barwa. So who is Pranjal, who is Rajveer and Mr. Barwa? Let us read. Why does Pranjal goes there? So I am reading first for you, and then I will ask someone of you to read. Chapter 3, Tea from Assam. Pranjal, a youngster from Assam, is Rajveer's classmate at school in Delhi. Pranjal's father is the manager of a tea garden in Upper Assam, and Pranjal has invited Rajveer to visit his home during the summer vacation. So that is the short introduction of Pranjal, Rajveer and Assam. Who was Pranjal? So Pranjal and Rajveer, both of them were studying in Delhi, and for the summer vacation, he was invited to visit his house, and Pranjal had invited Rajveer. Rajveer was very happy, and he shares his experience here. Chai garam, garam chai, chai garam. So how many of you have heard this phrase? Chai garam chai.
Sir, me.
Yes?
Many times, sir.
Me.
All of you.
बहुत बार.
Yes, sir, on railway stations.
Okay, but speak in English, don't speak in Hindi. Yes. So
Near Dave's house.
yeah, so chai garam, I want this phrase, garam chai, chai garam. I want one of you to imitate the tea vendor. How do they come to your bogie at the railway station? So who is going to imitate for the class in a different style, unique style? Yes, any one of you.
साहब गरम चाय ले लो साहब.
Okay, who was that?
Sir, Vidansh probably.
Okay, okay, good. Anybody else? Anybody else? No one. Show some creativity. Anybody is there going to imitate tea vendor?
ए चाय वाला चाय वाला चाय वाला.
Okay, good. So there is only one Creative boy. Good. So you have heard this many often, especially at the railway platform in the bogie, the tea seller come to you and they shout in various tone, various voice, various accent at different places. So a vendor called out in a high-pitched voice. He came up to their window and asked, "Chai saab chai piyoge? Chai le lo, garam chai, garam chai." "Give us 2 cups," Pranjal said. So Pranjal asked for 2 cups of tea. How many of you have exp- experienced that tea at the railway station while traveling? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
How?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
How did you find it? Was it tasty? Was it interesting? Was it just useless? Was it very tasty? Okay, you don't remember the taste. But I too have tasted, but I didn't find it much interesting, especially the Indian
Sir,
railway.
actually, tea made
Yes,
at
sir.
home is much more better in taste than that.
Yes, yes, it's not better. You could go to some hotel or restaurant, you could drink that, that's better. So here they were traveling and they were in the train and a tea seller came to them. He was shouting. They sipped the steaming hot liquid. Almost everyone in their compartment was drinking tea too. Do you know that over 80 crore cups of tea are drunk every day throughout the world? 80 crores cups of tea are drunk every day throughout the world. And the number, the biggest number of tea drunk by the people is in India. Rajveer said, "Whew," exclaimed Pranjal. Tea really is very popular. The train pulled out of the station. Pranjal buried his nose in his detective book again. So Pranjal was much interested in reading detective books. And so it is a hobby or it is a good time pass for many people, especially in the train, bus, or while traveling. Either nowadays people have got mobile or laptop, so they use their mobile and the laptop for watching programs, videos, movies, chatting, other thing. But those days when there were no mobile, there were no plenty of laptop, and even if it was there, it was not affordable for everyone. So those days, even I, long time back, when I used to travel, I used to keep a book with me, either a novel or a story book or a magazine. So it is a good time pass, and some people read the newspaper also. So like that, Pranjal was reading the detective book. Rajveer too was an ardent fan of detective. Ardent means passionate. He loved reading detective book. Rajveer also. But now, at the moment, he was keener on looking at the beautiful scenery. He was interested in looking out of the window from the train and watching the scenery, the beautiful greenery. So especially when we travel through the bus or train or by car, if you go from Jhalawar to Kota, so after crossing Jirnia, you watch the greenery. That forest comes till Devrigata. And then after that again you go to Dara. So from Dara till Dara station, you have that greenery. You pass through the national tiger reserve area. So people like to watch the greenery. They feel happy, they feel nice, they take fresh air, fresh oxygen. Same thing was happening, and it is also a good time pass for many of the people. It was green, green everywhere. Rajveer had never seen so much greenery before. Then the soft green paddy fields gave way to tea bushes. Why do you think Rajveer had never seen that greenery before? The reason is that he was living in Delhi.
City.
Yes, city, Delhi. And Delhi and other cities are famous for pollutions, traffic, noise pollution, air pollution, water pollution, and crime. Many metro cities, they are notorious for crimes, pollution. They are famous only for bad things. Of course, there are for good thing also, but just I want to make it a point, and therefore I said that they are also known for the bad activities, drugs, etc. If you talk about metro cities, Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai. Of course, I don't say that they are not in small cities, they are there, but it is at large scale in big state, big cities, big district. Rajvir had never seen such greenery. Then the soft green paddy fields gave way to the bushes. It was a magnificent view against the backdrop of densely wooded hills, a sea of tea bushes. So when he was passing through the place, he saw a sea of tea bushes. What do you mean by sea of tea bushes? Sea of tea bushes means
Vast stretches of tea bushes, plantation.
yes, vast.
Matlab, there were many.
Yes, vast area, large field, plenty of tea bushes, farms of tea leaves, as far as the eye could see. So he compared it to the sea, because when we stand at the seashore, you go to Goa, Mumbai, or any coastal area, and when you stand at the seashore, and wherever your eyes will go, you would see only water, water, water everywhere, and not a single drop to drink. You can't drink that water because that's salty and dirty water, sea water. Yes, but Israel had developed the technique of changing, transforming the sea water and making it drinkable. Only Israel is the nation which has got that technology now. So, dwarfing the tiny tea plants were tall, sturdy shade trees, and amidst the orderly rows of bushes, busily moved doll like figures. So, there were also tall trees. There were, of course, the small bushes of the tea plant, but there were also other tall trees, and in front of those tall trees, these tea plants only were dwarf. They were small in their height, and they were standing like doll figures. In the distance was an ugly building with smoke billowing out of tall chimneys. And he also watched out of his window that at distance there was also a tall building. Perhaps it was a factory, it was an industry, and there was a smoke coming out of the chimney. Hey, a tea garden, Rajveer cried excitedly. Pranjal, who had been born and brought up on a plantation, didn't share Rajveer's excitement. So why do you think, what do you think Pranjal did not share Rajveer's excitement? What is the reason?
He was used to it. It was not very special for him.
Yes, he was used to it. And it is said that there is a saying in Hindi, very popular, Ghar ki murgi. What is the saying?
दाल बराबर.
Dal barabar.
So, Ghar ki murgi dal barabar, that is the saying, and the meaning of it is when you are used to something, you do not give importance to that thing. You do not value the thing which you get very easily. Isn't it? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
it's true.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we continue further. Anybody would like to read? Raise your hand. Okay, no one is there.
Sir, I have raised my hand.
Who? Charvi. Okay, Charvi is there. Oh, yes, so I will give you a chance. Just a minute.
Yes, sir. Oh, this is country now. He said, Assam has the largest concentration of plantations in the world. You will see enough gardens to last you a lifetime. I have been reading as much as I could about tea. Rajveer said, no one really knows who discovered tea, but there are many legends. What legends? Well, there is one about the Chinese emperor who always boiled the water before drinking it. One day, a few leaves of the twigs burning under the pot fell into the water, giving it a delicious flavor. It is said they were tea leaves. Tell
Okay.
me another,
Yes. Yes.
coughed Pranchal.
Just a minute. Just a minute. So Rajveer is telling Pranjal that he has read many things, many stories, many articles about tea and tea leaves, and is sharing his reading. He is sharing his stories which he has read, and Pranjal asked him to share his views, and he shared his views about the Chinese emperor, that once there was a Chinese emperor who always boiled water before drinking it, and one day few leaves of the twigs fell into it, and when he drank it, he found it delicious. It is said that they were tea leaves. Like this, there are many other stories about the origin of tree. Tell me another, scoffed Pranjal. So Pranjal asked him another story. Yes, share your experience. Yes, continue.
Yes, sir. We have an Indian legend too. Bodhi Dharma, an ancient Buddhist ascetic, cut off his eyelids because he felt sleepy during meditations. Then 10 tea plants grew out of the eyelids. The leaves of these plants, when put into hot water and drunk, banished sleep. Tea was first drunk in China, Rajveer added, as far back as 2700 BC. In fact, words such as tea, chai, and chini are from Chinese. Tea came to Europe only in the 16th century and was drunk more as a medicine than as beverage.
Okay, so there is also Indian story, Indian legend that is about Bodhi Dharma. It said that there was an ancient Buddhist ascetic. Buddhist ascetic means a Buddhist monk, a Buddhist priest. He was he was meditating, and when he was meditating, he was falling asleep again and again. So it happens especially in the temples and when we sit for prayers, meditation, yoga, we feel sleepy. So there was that person, Buddhist monk, and when he was sitting for meditation, he was feeling sleepy, lazy. So therefore, he had cut off his eyelids because he felt sleepy during meditation. You know eyelid, these are called eyelid. So when he cut his eyelid, what will happen? When your eyelid is cut, your eyes won't be covered with this cover. So therefore, his eyes would be open and it won't fall sleep. Then the tea plants grew out of the eyelid. So there's again, of course, myth, a mythological story. But the story says that when he had cut this eyelid, his eyelid grew the tree leaves, the tea leaves. The leaves of these plants then put into hot water and drunk, and that had banished the sleep. So that's the mythological story. Tea was first drunk in China, some story says, Rajveer added, as far back as 2700 BC. BC means before Christ. Before Jesus Christ came, so Jesus Christ came, already 2000 years are over. So when Jesus was born and Jesus died, to that event, 2000 years are already over. So Jesus has divided history in two parts, that is BC and what is that?
AD.
BC and AD.
These are the two
AD.
words, BC and AD. BC means before Christ and AD means after the
After
death
that.
of Christ. Anno Domino, the Latin word for AD is Anno Domino, and for BC also is there. I don't get it now, what is it? But remember, BC and AD, BC before Christ, AD after death of Christ. So he has divided history into two parts, before him and after him. Yes, continue. Continue, Charvi.
Yes, sir. The train clattered into Marini Junction. The boys collected their luggage and pushed their way to the crowded platform. Pranjal's parents were waiting for them. Soon they were driving towards Dhekya, the tea garden managed by Pranjal. An hour later, the car veered sharply off the main road. They crossed a cattle bridge and entered Dhekya tea estate.
Okay, so
On both sides,
Pranjal's father was a manager at the tea estate, tea plantation estate, and he had come to receive them. He had brought the vehicle, and three of them went towards their destination. Continue.
yes, sir. On both sides of the gravel road were acre upon acre of tea bushes, all neatly pruned to the same height. Groups of tea pluckers with bamboo baskets on their backs, wearing plastic aprons, were plucking the newly sprouted leaves.
So
Pranjal's father,
yes, yeah. So acre upon acre, there were tea bushes, and all neatly pruned to the same. What do you mean by pruned? PRUN, neatly pruned means they were cut to the,
shaved or cutted.
yes, yes, they were shaved, they were cut to the same height. So as you know, when the tea leaves grow, they plug the new ones for making tea leaf, and they sell it. And then it has got two season, so it comes twice in a year, and twice a year the workers are there for plucking the fresh tea leaves. So these workers were there with their bamboo baskets, their bags. They were wearing plastic aprons to cover themselves for the safety. They were plucking the newly sprouted leaves. Pranjal's father slowed down to allow a tractor pulling a trailer load of tea leaves to pass. On the way, they met a trailer also, which was carrying the tea leaves for transportation, for packaging. This is the second flush or sprouting period, isn't it, Mr. Barua? So Rajveer told to Pranjal's father that this is the second season. That means he had studied about tea plantation, tea leaves. Rajveer asked. It lasts from May to July and yields the best tea. You seem to have done your homework before coming, Pranjal's father said in surprise. So Pranjal's father was surprised and said, you have done your homework. Good job. Yes, Mr. Barwa, Rajveer admitted. But I hope to learn much more while I'm here. Yes, I have done my homework. I have read about it in the book only, but I want to experience it personally. I want to enjoy. I want to go around with you and my friend. So that is the chapter. We have done it here. Yes, I don't think anybody has any doubt, any problem here. No? Clear everything? Now just
Yes, sir.
now
Yes,
just
sir.
let's do
Yes,
recap.
sir.
Recap of it, and we call it for the day. So let me ask you some question from all the three chapters, and then let's see how much you have understood or not understood. So first part we had done, that is a baker from Goa, and let me ask you a question from that, a baker from Goa, whether you remember or you have forgotten everything. What do you mean by the word padder? What do you mean by the word padder?
Sir,
Yes.
The baker.
Bakers.
sir, the bakers in Goa are known as peddlers.
Yes. The
Yes, sir.
bakers in Goa are still known as padder. Okay. Now, what do you mean by Pescine or Bestine? Why the reference of Pescine or Bestine given in the chapter? Pescine or Bestine? Why the reference is given there?
Sir, shall I?
Yes, say.
Sir, they refer to the servants, maid servants of the writer's house.
Of the house.
Yes, yes. So they were the servant of the writer's house. Okay. Sorry. Where would the padder keep their account? Where they used to keep their account, their bill? Yes, any one of you? Yes, Harushi, where would the beggars keep their account? Aviral Shah, where would they keep their account? We had read that.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, the bakers would keep their account written on a wall.
Return on wall, very good. And ask Dev Jain, when they used to collect the bill, which day? Dev Jain.
Coming.
Yes, Mohit Nagar answer.
Sir, at the end of month.
At the end of the month, they used to come and collect. Yes, even today, any person with a jackfruit like physical appearance is compared to a baker. Why? Why a person, even today, if he has got physique like jackfruit, he is called baker? Yes, Charvi, yeah. Answer.
Sir, even today, any person with a jackfruit like physical appearance is compared to a baker because at that time, in the time of the Portuguese, the bakers were prosperous families and they were very rich and they usually had all kind of facilities uh, and and they probably ate different kind of food, so they must have been fat. So therefore such a person with a physical appearance like that of a jackfruit are compared to a baker.
Right, because of their plumpy physique, pleasantly fat body, they were compared to. Because jackfruit also is like that. If you have seen a jackfruit, it's also round in shape. So therefore, they were compared to that. Yes. Why were the marriages not celebrated without sweet bread or bolinas? Yes. What was the special about marriages those days in Goa and any function? Only one hand always. Yes, Charvi.
So at that time and even today, in many of the villages, the uh, the bread and the sweet dishes made by bread, such as balls, are very important because they are a part of their tradition, the family traditions of the Goan people.
Yes.
Without them, the marriage is incomplete.
Yes, everybody expected to have that sweet ball, sweet dish, okay, sweet bread. Okay, last. What do you mean by kabai? Any one of you? Kabai.
So the peculiar dress the
Worn by
baker of
the pedder, that is kabai. Very good. So we have done more or less from all the three chapters and